Take a bite of me, take a bite of me. I feel a chill when you hold me, my zombie girl. Hello! Welcome to the Bad Game Hall of Fame. I'm your host for this evening, Johnny Baghead. Joining me today is Cassidy, our favourite member of the Undead. Woo!
Oh shit, you gave it away now. How am I supposed to sneak up on people now? Like the reason why I'm such a favored member of the Undead is that I keep it like on the down low, keep it like stealth, right? People don't know I'm undead, the next thing you know, they turn around, bite them in the back of the head.
Oh.
Now you've been spared because bagheads, as we all know, according to the lore, rotten for blood. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
So, you've been getting by so far, but I might have to change things after you've broken my secret, broken my trust.
Go on a vegan diet. Today we are once again back with Dead Rising Chop Till You Drop, the strange Wii version of the first Dead Rising. I believe we are roughly at the final of the 3 days in the mall, so we're gonna just faff around, get any last minute shopping, and then just get out of there. Surely, just take the helicopter out there, and it'll be all good, I assume.
Yeah, nothing is going to go wrong. If I know my Dead Rising, and I don't, things are going to be just fine for old Frankie West.
That being said, I think we could just get into it, so swap over, and we will dip out of frame for now. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Yes, we'll get back into it. Got my batteries on charge, just in case. It's good. The time in this is such a lie.
Well, I've heard you complain about this. I've heard Sharky complain about this. I like this measurement of time where it measures just gameplay, because if you're going for I don't know, for in-game time, complete the game under 6 hours, but you still want to enjoy the cutscenes, you still want to rewatch bits and pieces of it. I'd rather the game just tracks time spent playing above and at the expense of everything else.
No,
personally.
that's totally fair. The only reason it bothers me is because that's the time that the people on How Long to Beat use.
Yeah, well, that's a user problem, not a game problem, in my opinion.
Let's just check the case files. So yeah, we're early morning on the last day, dawn of the last day. I am really curious because at this point in the story, it's coming up is a big boss encounter in the underground parkways that London, the driving area I went to as a bonus. So
they're just gonna have to do a cordoned off part of it, I imagine, or they're gonna have to streamline it in its capacity for this Wii version.
Yeah,
is my guess.
Yeah, I'm curious how they're gonna handle it. But yeah, last we left off, actually a lot of story stuff happened. Turned out that this virus is a man-made virus that was meant to increase cattle yield, and instead actually create zombies, and it wrecked a small South American village.
Someone forgot to carry a one somewhere, I tell you what.
And because of that, mess up a small town, and Carlito and Isabella there. There's Isabella. Carlito specifically is the one who brought it here. Let's see, is it Otis who's got stuff for me? Yep. Can you shave some people, Frank? Oh yeah, So, in the normal game, in the leisure park, these prisoners are just there in the the big middle park area for most of the game. And here it's just
drive around their truck, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, with a really fun song. And I think you can get rid of them temporarily, but until you hit a certain day marker, they'll respawn. But somehow, I'm glad they at least represented it in some fashion. Also, 1 second. Just needed to move back a little bit more, so I've never been over
Ample
here.
room for aiming with your Wiimote.
Yeah.
Now, I should ask you, what you're using to capture this.
Oh no, this is just regular capture because I'm playing on my Wii U.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if this had switched over to your new toy that you've been.
Oh yeah, the retro shake. I need to do some more tests with it to see what the optimal output is. I could use it on Wii, but this already upscales. Essentially playing on Wii U, and then I'd have to move saves over and all that. I don't know if you saw last episode, my Blacktail that's been broken since the start of the game got repaired, and it's not as good, so I sold it.
Yeah, I did. I watched. I keep up.
Whoop.
Very funny that the Blacktail was like this, running thread, and then it's just, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
We got a Mauser. What more do you need?
It's just because, like, in Resident Evil 4, having weapons that stun sometimes can be more useful than the quick kills. Especially when
not so much here.
Yeah. Especially because, like, if you really want to, you can just use the TMP. Oh yeah, and the Colliers are here.
Now, I'm assuming that your exposure to the Mauser pistol, that your familiarity with it mostly comes from Resident Evil 4 and the Red 9?
Mostly. It's probably been in a few other, like World War II era video games.
Some World War I era games as well, because the Mauser is that fucking old.
Ah, okay.
It was in the late 1800s, and it is arguably the star in one of the greatest westerns of all time, The Great Silence. Where the main character, Silent, uses a Mauser and outguns everyone with a revolver. It's kind of sick. It's kind of a great movie. And the whole movie's an allegory for the assassination of Malcolm X as well. So politically charged little film there. Check it out, folks.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, because Battlefield 1 is probably the main game I've played that's set in World War 1, but unless you go to like custom servers, that game plays it very fast and loose with the arsenal that each teams have. From my understanding, people would do like specific fan servers where they would pick weapons and tie them to the right factions, but then it would be a bit unbalanced. So I don't remember how much I used the Mauser in that.
Loser. Get your aim right, brother. All right, looks like we found our next contestant. We're gonna take out that dude and snatch his old lady.
See, they're just having a grand old time.
Yeah.
Gotta take a photograph of this.
Yeah. For clarification, that they literally just show up like that in the main Dead Rising. The only difference is they show up earlier. So that's a cutscene from day one that just goes up later. Oh, that's different though. Normally you would just... Oh, what?
What? Well, this is new.
What up? Pretty sure this is a copyright song, but it is very good. But I can waggle and talk with the best of them. Oh, that was not the dodge button. Oh, that's it.
Incredible.
That's it.
What was that? What was that bat animation you were doing? This is...
Oh, this makes me... We're probably not going to get to it this episode, but this does also make me curious about some of the final boss stuff as well.
Is it all just going to be done in QTE?
Maybe, yeah.
Why not, right?
Bap, 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 bap.
This kind of rules. I mean, it's shit.
Yeah.
It's low rent as fuck. But now, get the bat again? Or nope, he's just dead. We're just going to take it on faith that that guy died from the collision.
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk over this. I need to find something to say.
Yeah.
So, to dodge the copyrighted music, but...
Oh, sleeper hold.
Sleeper hold. You're not gonna drag him out of the... Huh?
I love the, like, machinima animations as well.
Why wouldn't he just jump into the passenger seat at that point and take out the driver? Why did we need to jump out of the car? I don't know about Frank's technique here. I don't know about his approach.
Hey, it worked.
You know, I guess it did, Johnny. I guess it did.
Come on now, running around here ain't doing you any good. I know a safe place, right? Come with me. Alright. Oh, no. Car keys! I don't think I could use this car. Maybe I could use one of them in the car in the parking lot. I'll take them just in case.
Ooh, I wonder if that's the setup. I wonder if this was necessary for the mission that will be underground.
Yeah, curious. Well, we could already...
A clever rearranging of pieces here.
Yeah, because the way we got the car... The way the underground parking works in this is it's like it's a weird bespoke minigame where... It's that weird... Again, it's weird because there's only set times you're allowed to freely explore the mall. But during those points, if you go there, you pay money and they're like, yeah, you could go down there for 5 minutes. It's
almost like... And they're definitely not this forward-thinking, and this definitely wasn't the intention, but it's almost like how they economize killing zombies in Dead Rising 2. Right? How they have the game shows about, like, you know, in 5 minutes, kill as many zombies as you can. And they're almost, like, setting it up as if it were a game within the game. Like, there's some guy standing outside the gates to the underground in this game being like, alright, I'll let you go down there for 20 bucks.
Yeah, it's almost just, you know, without, like, the lore explanation for it.
You ever heard of rage rooms?
I think so, yeah. Is that where you can pay to go in a room and break plates? And things like that?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
For people who don't want to...
Huh? Huh? What?
Okay. Oh, so this can happen. Okay, so this happens more in Dead Rising 1, like the main Xbox version, is that those cult guys will try and knock you out. And if that happens, you get brought here.
Your girl's still alive, so there's still a chance here, I guess. Did you lose every single item you have?
Yeah, you get stripped.
You still have your shotgun on you.
Oh, okay, so that's different.
Yeah, I was hoping you would open your inventory and I could see whether they took everything away from you or not.
Oh, I think everything else, though, they might have took.
That's brutal. She's about to die.
Yeah, but I don't have anything to heal her with. That's fine. That'll let me just retry. I was shocked. I did not know. I wasn't expecting this to be in here. It's funny.
Let's see what happens if you load it from continue point here. I'm curious what the continue point is.
Oh no. Let's see.
I fear it might be the box.
We'll see. Oh no. I was unsure because the load-in screen wasn't for this area, but we're good.
Not much of a consequence if you just let yourself die and then restart.
Oh yeah, which is
Or
way
otherwise,
more forgiving than proper Dead Rising.
Now I got a question for you, a little thought experiment.
Mm-hmm.
So this has been a novel treatment of Dead Rising.
Yeah.
I would liken it you know, very coincidentally to the likes of the Resident Evil 4 mobile game conversions, like
Oh,
the Android and
yeah,
Zero and whatnot.
the mission-based one, yeah.
What other games, modern franchises, do you think might benefit from a stripping down from a version of the game that is consolidated, streamlined, like the genre fundamentally shifted in a way,
Well,
but
that is
still
a...
reusing the assets and locations and general premise and
Yeah,
through
yeah,
line?
that is... Let me think on that. I haven't played them, to be fair, so this is pure speculation. But I could definitely see where Assassin's Creed has gone now. Where they're...
Oh yeah, they can dial that shit back at this point.
Yeah. Here you go. Yeah, so if I get kidnapped, I lose all my drinks.
Those cultists are thirsty. And I know I posed the question. I don't have an answer for it. But
Yeah. The problem is I play so few current releases now. Is the problem.
Oh, I got an idea that would make people mad. Dark Souls.
Here's the thing, though.
Dark Souls that is just completely linear, A to B, and you just get the weapons. They just hand them to you. You don't got to work for them.
But you know, there's stuff like that within the FromSoft style now. Like you could argue that Night Rain thing does a bit of that in the streamlining.
Yeah, I suppose so.
You know, Dark Souls 3 is a very streamlined take on Dark Souls 1. And I do honestly think it's the better game overall, even if there's if there's little, like, there's bits about the first game I would say are better, but like as an overall package, I would point to the third one as the best.
I think Dark Souls 2 is the one that made me fall in love with the series. Dark Souls 3 is my favorite, and Dark Souls 1 is a piece of garbage that I've never been able to, like, have the patience to sit through because it's just such a janky, unpleasant piece of trash to play, in my personal opinion.
You're just gonna try a dual shield build. That'll change your mind.
Oh yeah, that would be what would change my mind. Yeah, that for sure. Me and Charky were trying to play. There's a co-op mod for the Dark Souls Remastered release, and even then, it was them like dragging me through it. But you know, that's why I'm saying, hey, FromSoft, take a page out of Dead Rising Chop Till You Drop's book and put it out on the way. I mean, it feels like everyone's forgotten about the way that you can bring it back.
Okay, legit, FromSoft trying to convert Dark Souls 1 to the Wii would have been really funny.
Well, it already looks like garbage. It's already hideous. It's already an ugly, ugly, ugly game. So it would fit right in on the way.
Well, which version?
I'm just going for it. I'm using this just to try and spur discussion. I'll get comments on this video if it's the last goddamn thing I do. I will make people feel obligated to reply to me on YouTube or wherever else.
See, 'cause funny thing, though, like some parts of it look a little better. Like I did not like most of the visual changes that the quote remaster did. It wasn't just, you know, like improving texture quality. It was slight, I think, just like changes in a lot of cases.
I know you're a real stickler for that stuff. Between that and the Silent Hill and any game that deigns to change anything.
I guess it's just
that's a very unfair characterization of. I understand where you're actually coming from with that. I'm just being deliberately obtuse right now.
The thing I realized overall is more just, hey, you remake a good game, or like just put it off there, like an all-time great game. I don't think you can really do anything apart from, if you're very lucky, match that. You know, if you're going for something that's a bit flawed, a bit dated, then you have more to be expressive and new with. And I know it will probably get me in hot water with some people, but I think that's why Resident Evil 2 worked. Whereas the later Resident Evils they got into, like 4 for example, isn't the same thing. Like,
You're talking about RE2 make
yeah.
then versus RE4 make.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I did like RE2 make. I did enjoy that, and I did not like RE4 make.
No. So it's just when it's games like that, it's like, yeah, the changes are just, you know, that original game's good. If you, and granted, you know, if you're keeping it the same, I think I'm so burnt out on them. I think it's pointless either way. So I'm in a real bad place.
Yeah!
But you know, where's Resident Evil Code Veronica remake? That one actually could do with like a refresh take on that game. There we go. I wonder if I missed out on a secret mission there because I only got a B.
I will live.
But
I
yeah,
think it's fine.
Oh yeah, no, I get the feeling that that's the really quick way to get through this game is to intentionally not get the secret missions.
Is it going to jump right into the next case here, or do you think you'll have a chance to?
Isabella! I don't know if you're listening to this or not, but I've made up my mind. This is the last resort. I'm going to end it all. I'm sorry that I got you involved in all of this. I love you, Isabella.
No.
Exactly what is this last resort talk all about?
He's going to cut his life into pieces.
Yep.
That he'd blow up the mall if you were cornered.
Damn, we've got a regular suicide bomber on our hands.
Less than what you're thinking. The explosion would send parasitic larvae into the atmosphere.
He plans to spread zombies outside of the city? Is he insane?
If that bomb goes off, there'll be nowhere to run. The zombies will be everywhere.
He's planning to flood the area underneath the mall with flammable gas, then set it off. If you could take care of the bombs while the gas concentration is still low.
There's a chance we could stop the explosion. Let's do it.
Ah. So yes, this is that mission I was talking about. Also, I'm not sure where the mission where I deal with a cult's supposed to be, because that would have already gone past. But the cinema's been locked off the entire game. So I wonder if that's just an area I'll never go to. Hey, look at that, we finally got a countdown timer.
What you're saying is you can't go searching for last minute deals in the shopping mall. Not right now, anyway.
Yeah. Enough.
There's gonna be a machete guy inside the elevator or something.
Yeah. No, we'll take the detour. Which, speaking of, another place I don't know if we'll get a chance to check is normally that boss fight is in like a garden hardware store in the North Plaza, and that's been locked the whole game. And I'm curious if that's just magically unlocked now, or if it's still locked down there. And that's just another area they've like cut off.
Cut for time.
Yeah, that, or there's gonna be kind of like what that that last mission did. It'll just be a specific mission.
To the left. I remember this from last time. You have to.
Yeah, it's because.
Wouldn't it be great if you look down?
It would. Well, I can. I just have to. You know, the real fun way. There we go.
I am still fascinated by this game. I know at this point you seem fairly tired of it, and I can't blame you, being the one actually playing it. But
yeah. I mean, I'm at the point where like the enjoyment is just seeing how they tackle stuff differently, like the main set pieces. But yeah, like on the gameplay side. As I said, it turns out like you can't just You can't just put Resident Evil 4's engine and combat into anything without, you know, like the whole
Severely
package.
compromising what that thing is.
Yeah. Which is, you know, but that's probably my problem with Resident Evil 5 and 6 as well. Is like Resident Evil 5 does an okay job because it is mostly just straight copying a lot of what Resident Evil 5 was doing. But I definitely got
Or 4.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, what 4 was doing. But there was still parts of it. It's like, yeah, you didn't quite get why this worked, and you know, hence we're getting.
Oh no,
like,
it
bigger
absolutely.
and bigger.
In my opinion, RE5 has no idea why RE4 worked, and RE6 is an even further departure from that, as you might, you know, as folk may be able to gather from our playthroughs of those campaigns. Ada campaign coming eventually. No, I have long since been a RE5 disliker. I know people will talk about, oh, but the co-op, oh, it's so fun as a co-op game, and it's just like, yeah, but I'm not coming to Resident Evil for co-op. I mean, that's like fundamentally my issue with RE6's, or it would be my issue with RE6 if I just like didn't completely detach that in my mind from Resident Evil. If I didn't completely separate that into its own separate like category of game.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, in that game, it's the only saving grace. But in RE5, I just find that game to be dull, to be plotting, to be very brown, to be very just, you know, it was the first one that went well and truly over the top. RE4 had its moments where it approached it. It really started with Code Veronica, in my opinion, where it started jumping the shark in terms of the action set pieces and the anime-inspired father and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But RE5 is where it really crystallized into something that was, to me, unrecognizable. And to me, just like, well, if I wanted to play a bad cover shooter, I could get that anywhere else. I could play any other third-person shooter.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
That's
okay.
just me.
Yeah. So we need the car for this bit. Can't just go there on foot.
They gave you drove a motorcycle the last time you were down here, right? Or did you drive a car? I think you drove a car.
Yeah, but you could have hired a motorcycle as well. I like the horns going off every so often. That's not even me.
Well, Frank's a conscientious driver.
That or someone sitting in his lap who's just not featured in the story.
Oh, you're done with the car.
Hmm.
You got some propane tanks. You
Oh,
can use, though, to your right.
So this is just like a separate area they've made. Instead
It's
of
like
being...
this is what I assumed. This is what I was talking about earlier, that they were going to cordon off a certain point. I didn't expect them to put you on foot immediately, but
Yeah. They very much treat that tunnel drop. Whoa! Where's she going? So, whoops, I'm in the wrong game actually. Sorry, I gotta.
You told me Resident Evil 4 is that way. I missed wrong game. Okay, sorry. Assume the bomb's in here.
Oh, I gotta. Okay, I don't know what that AB prompt was. That must be for a move that I have.
Alright, now you need to defuse the bombs in a QTE that involves waggling the Wiimotes.
If only.
You have to hold the Wiimote and the nunchuck like a pair of scissors and snip the wires.
I think I have a move if a zombie is knocked on the ground. Let's see if we can knock a zombie on the ground without killing them. There we go.
Classic.
Hang on. Ah.
Swing your partner round and round.
Let's talk in the car.
You're just gonna drive from bomb to bomb at this point?
Yeah, this is essentially what you do in the actual mission. But the difference is Carlito is driving around in one of those trucks trying to kill you. And
They
you
might incorporate that.
Yeah,
They might try to do that.
and you don't really get to stay in a car because the cars have durability. Oh god, the driving's so jank. Like it's it's not quite James Bond games where they would get different engines for the driving segments. They're trying. They're trying their best.
I do wonder how they shoehorned it in. You know how I feel about like engine discusso, and how in most cases gamers get it completely wrong from like in terms of like understanding what an engine is and what the capabilities of an engine are. But when it comes to this game, I'm willing to grant a little bit of like acquiescence here in that you can see the Resident Evil 4 like structure, how deep it runs, the fact they couldn't even be bothered to put the Dead Rising weapons in and are just using the Resident Evil 4 weapons because they didn't feel like doing any new modeling or animations for that shit is, you know, kind of speaks to just how lazy this all is. But, you know, at the same time, they did go and put some sort of driving model into this.
Yeah. No, I wonder how much in the code you're technically just a faster NPC model. You know, like you might as well be a guy running around like you're in Sonic R. We've got a situation that Kindle guy Snapman. Well, thanks for telling me.
Kindle again?
I don't know if he was the guy who wanted the food. And
Did you get the bomb? It still says 3 bombs remaining in me.
Well, the arrows...
I'm sure you did, and I'm just...
Yeah. If the arrow's telling me to go this way, then we're good. You know, I should just check for prosperity. Yep, invisible wall.
No, of course.
But the thing is, you can get to that underground mall area on foot because some of the options, if you go here like as a free play thing, where they just go in with a specific weapon. Oh god, the brake barely works. Oh,
all gas, no brakes.
You can tell how much bigger the actual areas are when this loads compared to the size it was when I was driving. It's like when you're driving, you're just in the model scale version of it. Also, that's new. Those zombies that are booking it. That's new. I don't think any Dead Rising 1 zombie. Heck, even the cultists don't move that fast.
Yeah, well, you gotta make it harder on players when you have free aim.
Yeah, no,
that's a necessary change for balance's sake.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's just weird to see because they suddenly lose all their zombie-ness. That, you know, the rigmarole is stumbling, and they just. Actually, I could sprint full speed, fine. I just choose to be lazy. I don't know, I've always liked the idea of someone making a zombie movie where the zombies just pretend to be all like...
Then they're saving up that like burst of energy.
No, it's just a ploy to get people to leave them alone. You know, like, ghosts are just like, no, we live here, don't move in. Zombie ghosts leave this place.
Is that a Real Life Consequences, Half-Life Real Life? Is that the name of that thing?
Full Life Consequences, yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
It's the sad middle chapter in the story where John Freeman, who was Gordon Freeman's brother, had to kill the zombie ghosts even though that was their home. But they get to live in peace afterwards, so it's all good. There's only one left. Yep. Ah, now I'm... Waggle the
They're going to do
controller.
this in a cutscene.
Let's see.
They're absolutely going to do this in a cutscene.
Okay,
no.
Well, we've got this music now.
Do you think the zombies here even have AI enabled?
That's a good question, Mega Man.
The answer is no, because it would have been expensive. It would have taxed the CPU to have any sort of AI routines happening here.
I'm glad you got me to check that, because... Oh, no.
We have a question from Atesian in chat who says, "Yo, this is the weird Wii port. How you liking it?" And told it's pretty all right by Wii standards.
I don't know about that. I think you could do a lot better on the Wii. Even just the actual version of Resident Evil 4, which I know some people like because it's so easy and so overpowered, and I think that's a bad thing. But you know, that's still an overall better experience.
Yeah, in case you don't know, for the benefit of someone who might just be their first time watching this, this is Dead Rising by way of the Resident Evil 4 engine, which is to say it copies the gameplay and the weapons, the third-person shooting, and fundamentally reshifts the focus of this game, while also making the levels far more sparse in terms of things to do and zombies to kill. Changes around the structure of missions, so everything's completely bespoke and isolated rather than having any sort of open world mechanics or hooks in. So it's definitely a compromised version of Dead Rising. You are not getting the Dead Rising experience, as it were. What you are getting is, you know, something like it's very economical. It's the only way this would have worked on Wii. They weren't going to straight convert Dead Rising to the Wii at any point.
Yeah.
That just wasn't in the cards, but...
I'd be real, that's honestly better than this encounter on the 360 version. Like it's scary, but it's very jank with how that game works to try and fight someone who's driving around in a truck.
Shit! I'm gonna go after him. You get those bombs outside, Frank.
Why can no one hit each other in this universe? It's Frank's a journalist. He's the only person who can make a fucking shot.
Hell yeah.
All right, I'm Frank West. Welcome to Jackass. This is the exploding shopping cart prank.
Got rid of your bombs. This is as far as you go today. Just give
Tomorrow, who's to say?
I get what he's doing there. But the way he did it, he wouldn't have actually been able to check how many bullets he had left, right?
No, he would have needed to pull the entire magazine out.
Or that one where they have the little slit where you can see
some magazines do have like the slit where you can see.
There we go.
But also, if he's checking, he knows he's low on ammo. I would just pull the slide back and see if you have a round chamber. Period.
Yeah, which he did check that as well, yeah.
Finished.
Sure is lonely out here.
I don't know for sure.
You know, Frank could handle this no problem.
I don't know for sure. I have a feeling that scene might be taken directly from some movie. It feels very on the nose.
Well, you could say that it's almost a reference to what's the third of the Dead?
Is it
Night of
Land?
the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead.
Okay,
Copy. Report back here, Frank.
Yeah.
also interesting, they spliced those two cutscenes together. Those are separate cutscenes normally. Now, I'm curious about... Oh, well, here we are. So, in the 360 version, you're freely allowed to go and find that spot where the fight is and check in on that guy. I'm curious if they're gonna do that.
Make a mission out of it here.
Yeah. I won't say, just in case what happens to him, in case that is here. Yay, K7! Also, I don't remember what I got in the level up. The relieved you man to get those bombs out of here. Who knows how hand this could have gone if you hadn't. Thanks, Frag. The man was ready to blow up the whole mall. He must be really disturbed. He's incredibly dangerous. I'd like to discuss everything with Brad. Wonder what he's up to. I know where he is. Do you, Frank? What are you gonna say?
Feeling you might go find out.
We know I was responsible for this. There's no doubt still. He's my brother.
Now she comes back in later Dead Risings, right, Isabella?
Yes. Yeah. Let's see. I've got some bad news. Took out to look for a way out of here. Just have to hope they make it. I know you. Would I had to have like stopped mid bomb mission to go and get those people?
They would not have given you a choice. You were not going to have that option at any point.
I'll be honest with the timer. I would have had time. Not that I.
You would have come back and there would have been nothing happening. I guarantee it.
We'll see. Let us know in the comments if you know. This is not a very well documented game, so I don't know what the chances are. Let's see. There's an old lady standing by the big soccer ball in Wonderland Plaza with a ton of zombies around her. Yeah, unfortunately, I was not watching what happened on screen when I got that level up prompt. So I either got a book, or inventory space, or weapon durability. But we'll check the book thing later.
In 360 Dead Rising,
yeah,
does a similar thing with Kindell trying to rally the survivors to leave.
Yes, yeah.
And do you have the choice in that game?
Well, yeah, because you just choose to go to the security room at that point. There's like a set amount of time you have. Like once it gets to a certain point in the 3-day site schedule, then they'll leave. Like I said, I'm curious because we had the part where the guy is looking for food. He tries to leave and you could come back and give him food. So they had that part, which I was luckily prepared for. Because that guy wanted way more food.
I wonder if you'll just have a chapter or a mission here where you find Kindell and the other survivors who tried to leave, and just in the course of like a dialogue prompt, you bring them back. Because this game can't deviate from the best path.
Yeah, I'll be very curious to find out. Alright, I want to take the shortcut, so... Oh, okay. I was wondering if there was a, like grab melee animation you could do on that enemy when they crouch down, but it doesn't look like it.
Let me ask you this. Another food for thought experiment. If you could make one chain It could be a sweeping change that encompasses, like, a multitude of changes, but like one fundamental change to this game, to this version of the game on Wii as it stands, Dead Rising Chop Till You Drop,
Yeah.
to bring it more in line with original Dead Rising. What is like the most important? What is number one with a bullet for you?
It would either be the timer, but I think with just how the game overall works, that would be asking a bit too much. So I think the main difference would be, instead of just all the missions coming up from Otis, I would have it so those missions were discoverable in the well. They could still even work like this, where once you find them, they start, oh, you're in this mission now. But I would give you that sense of control to go and find the missions.
So, if I understand correctly, you'd have it be, so you have the open world, in some capacity, you're navigating around, or, following the case file missions.
Yeah.
And along the way, you maybe see someone in the environment, and talking to them triggers the beginning of these bespoke missions.
Yeah. And, until you get, past a certain amount of, like, case, once you get past the case, that's when, they would
become
disappear,
inaccessible. I think it's a fair change. I think that would probably do a lot to bring it back in line, because, fundamentally what you're asking for is to bring back the open world. I think, to take that to the core of it, it would be to bring back the open world in some capacity.
Yeah.
And to still have these segmented missions, but just like in a different context, a different way of activating them.
Oh, you're my special escort. It's that, or this would be a very different thing, because you wouldn't have made it in this engine. Would have been to have it actually be a melee focused game instead of this weird, shooter take. But it's, I'm not sure how they would have gone about that. And there's also the risk that being it was on Wii, that the mandate would
it would have all been motion control.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they would have done. If it was melee focused, it would all be motion inputs to do melee attacks, and that would have gotten real old real quick.
Yeah.
So I think for the purposes of this game, I don't think I'd fuck with the shooting. I think I'd keep it as a shooting-focused game. Funny that you didn't mention. Funny that did you even consider for a second bringing the camera back?
Oh.
Because I wouldn't.
Oh, the photography
outside of,
stuff, yeah.
Outside of having it just be like, so that, you could theoretically do, but I certainly wouldn't emphasize it. I would just have it be like, the camera is a weapon in your inventory that you can switch to.
Yeah.
If you want to get like some XP without killing people. It's an alternate means of getting experience points, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Which is mostly what it is. I think it's just there are bigger fundamental changes that affect it more negatively than the camera being gone outside of that one weird time it was brought up in a mission.
I think for me, I think I would agree with the open world aspect of it, opening up the structure somewhat. But I would also say, or what I think would have gone a long way in curbing a lot of the criticism of this game from the community in particular, would just be to somehow up the zombie density. Which, again, I say that knowing full well that this is already pushing up the limits, pushing up against the limits of what the Wii could produce. Knowing full well that this many zombies is already pretty taxing for the hardware. That's kind of a miracle to even have this much going on, I say, as you fight a grand total of 3 enemies on screen at once.
Yeah.
But, you could just do, like, similar tricks to what they're doing in the garage or the underground and just have the AI on them disabled until you're a certain proximity away from them. There's trickery you can do to have a larger density of enemies on screen, but to have them, not consuming as much in the way of resources that could be used, like, to stabilize frame rate or that are needed for other logic operating in the background of the game.
Yeah. I'm thinking of, because I'm thinking of similar hardware and, like massive amount of enemies on the screen games from the era, which is mainly, like Musou Dynasty Warriors stuff. And the big thing there is that
it's the same troop model over and
yeah,
over.
yeah.
And
There's
over
less,
again,
less, there's less variety in the models, and the environments are simpler. So what you would have really done then, obviously those upgrades, but also just it would have been a spin-off game, not a retelling of one of the, I don't know if Dead Rising 2 was out at this point, but you just would have done a side
No.
story, so you didn't have to try and rescale this environment, which was very dense and detailed for the time. You could have designed a simpler area for the story to take place.
You know what might have came out before, or contemporaneous to this, that would have possibly made Capcom shy away from that approach. First of all, I'm going to read a chat message from Mega Driver that says, "Watch out, gang. The Wii can produce mind-boggling enemy groups." The Dead Space. Dead Space on Wii, which was just like a rail shooter, and not a particularly good one either, where they decided to tell a side story with, what was it, Extraction?
Yeah. I enjoyed my time playing it, but I played the PS3 version, to be fair. So it's not that much of an upgrade visually, but it is a little bit.
I know those Umbrella Chronicle and Darkside Chronicle PS3 conversions were a little more high fidelity, even though, I love those games well enough on Wii.
Yeah, and I still need to try those.
You haven't?
No. I think because I was just I liking rail shooters, but not thinking Resident Evil needed rail shooters was the reason. But also, I didn't find out about the PS3.
Need them, but it's still fun.
Yeah, I didn't find out about the PS3 versions until they were gonna shut the store down, and then they backtracked on it.
You can just play the Wii versions if that's more immediately accessible. I know you have the Move.
Yeah.
On hand.
That probably would be right now.
Gun, the clamshell.
Yeah. Just because all my PS3s are a bit on the fritz.
Just play like the Wii version of Umbrella Chronicles and see how that treats you.
Yeah. Alright, come on,
the game is good. You know that I'm a Resident Evil fan, one might say. Been playing these goddamn games since 1997, 1996-ish. So when I say that I think Umbrella Chronicles stands as one of the best entries in the entire series, it carries some weight. Does it need to exist? Absolutely not.
No.
Does it muddle the canon and make you wonder what like the canonical version of events of Resident Evil 1, 2, 3 at all are? Yeah, absolutely.
Does Umbrella Chronicles put Joe and Chris together like Darkseid does with Leon and... Oh.
And Claire? Yes, it does. It does indeed.
I get the feeling Capcom treats those as the canonical versions of the story.
Well, they would have to. At this stage, to have Jill and Chris be like equal partners who are equally skilled. They would have had to have endured the Arclay Mansion incident together. They would have had to have like come up at the same time and like suffered that hell together and like grown stronger for it. And along the way, rescued Barry, rescued Rebecca. Both bore witness to Wesker's betrayal. It makes sense from like, streamlining the canon to do it that way. Absolutely. Because, you go back to the original Resident Evil and all those endings where you're either leaving behind, even in the best case scenarios, Rebecca or Barry. How are you supposed to, like, get around that, I guess?
Curious that this is a not inventory weapon. Let's see how our friend Cletus is doing. I got some nice weapons here. Let's see.
So funny that they didn't even bother to animate an idol for him.
Yeah. Is useful even at long range. Honestly, I might go for that just for the firepower.
You got the money, yeah.
And because you can't upgrade, so you don't get the stuff like the 100 barrel thing. You got anything else? Okay.
I'm gonna assume that it fires something like a slug, so it will probably be better at range, but will probably not have the same spread that the Striker is offering you right now. I can't believe it's called the Striker. It's a Protecta. Or, sorry, the semi-auto.
Weird. Yeah, I missed they called it that here. There we go. Might as well.
The real-life Protecta shotgun, by the way, that is modeled off of, piece of fucking garbage. By all accounts.
Alright, building books. No.
Nope, you've read all the books in the world. You know all the knowledge of mankind as expressed through magazines.
And... oh. Sure, we'll get the shotgun one.
I mean, why not? What else are you spending money on, especially this close to the end of the game? Unless they somehow, like, offer you a golden gun in the very last, like, you know, minutes of the game.
Yeah. Still weird to me, there's... like, how this is so much a Resident Evil 4 reskin, but you can't upgrade weapons in this. They just completely stripped that mechanic out.
It would be unnecessary in this, especially considering how weak the zombies are for the most part.
Yeah.
You know, you want them to reliably die from a single headshot. From, like, any gun, basically, barring the basic most handgun. You want your Red 9 or Black Tail or whatever else to do, like, a one-shot headshot kill.
Sure,
And then
but
when
you
it
could
comes
still
to-
have, you know, fire rate, reload, upgrades. At least it fixes the problem with Resident Evil 4 where the recoil or whatever upgrade is useless. Like the Red 9 attachment, the stock.
Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy the customization in RE4. I like being able to make super guns out of the already, like, you know, pretty good guns. But, you know, is it necessary? No. Can you beat that game with just the stock weapons at past a certain point? Yes. It's just there to, you know, give you something to spend money on beyond the, like, straight inventory upgrades and buying the guns outright or what have you. Which, you know, like, you know, most people who play RE4, like, I think, like, one of the ideal ways through that game, you don't buy any of the weapons. You just use the weapons that you find in the environment. You get the broken butterfly, you get the fucking semi-auto rifle, don't you? Or no, I think you... I don't remember. Maybe I'm wrong. No, you find the thermal scope. You find the scopes for the semi-auto rifle in the wild, but you don't find the rifle out in the wild.
Yeah.
You know, I like a playthrough of RE4 with just the weapons that are provided, then maybe buying one of the rifles.
Yeah.
Because it is possible. It is doable.
I will say, I don't think I've ever done a playthrough where I've just stuck with the, like, yeah, the base version of all the weapons and upgraded those. I know, like, people do a lot of, like, those low-level weapon challenges.
Yeah, at a certain point in playing that game, in replaying that game, I was just trying to challenge myself. I was just trying to, like, find some way to make the game difficult when I knew that game like the back of my hand. And that was a convenient way to do it. But I still never, ever, ever played through a run of that game with a mine thrower. Just never once, and never will. It's so cute that they brought it back in RE4, make like anyone was gonna give a fuck.
Yeah, the weird challenge you want to try in that is the one where you only have one weapon type. Like Magnum only is surprisingly a really hard playthrough because you get so little ammo.
So little ammo.
So if it's the only
then
weapon,
it becomes a knife only run at a certain point.
Yeah.
Which, you know, has been doable in Resident Evil for a while and is imminently doable in RE4. If you know like where to place your knife swipes.
But you do have to be careful because you have to, you know, keep ammo for stuff like shooting.
Like stuff in the environment that you need.
Like the minecart section. I don't know when I picked up this bucket. So I guess I'm taking the long way, but whatever. Well, I say long way. It's not even that much longer.
Is this the outfit you're settled on for the duration of the game at this point?
Yeah. I'm not sure if they have as many outfits as
Oh,
the
they
original.
definitely don't. But you know what this game does have?
I don't know.
A secret
what-
costume that I think only exists in this.
Oh, it might, yeah.
Tying into another Capcom property.
Oh, well, if it's the Mega Man suit, that is in...
Nope. Nope.
I don't know then.
Bionic Commando 2000 reboot Rad Spencer is a costume in this game.
It
In
is?
this version of
Wow,
the
okay, I didn't even find that
Yeah.
when I was looking stuff up.
game. I don't know how you get it, but I know it's there because I've seen the screenshots of it.
Yeah,
And I think it even comes with, you can do like some special attack with the bionic arm with
I wonder.
Rad's wife at hand.
Because apparently the Mega Buster is a different thing, so there's a random drink you can make, which is hard to do because 99% of the food pickups you get are vegetables and fruit, and you can't make it with those. But that has a random chance to like put you in the Mega Man mode. Too dangerous to be out here. Hey, you shot me. Don't do that to me. You look a little sick. You feel okay? I'm fine. Just a scratch, no problem.
Put him out of his misery.
Don't worry about it. You can treat your wound if you say so. Oh. Hey, are you okay? Alright, let's get moving.
Is his health going to be draining the entire time?
Probably, yeah. Oh, yep.
You know, would it really be that big a deal if you just happened to lose this guy along the way back to, the security room? I mean,
He's waddling.
we're delaying the inevitable here. Sorry to folk who
Crap. I remember you can't go this way.
who might shelter with me in the case of a zombie whatever event. Will never happen. Like, people who prep for that are fucking morons and noobs. But, if it ever came to it and you got bit, sorry. I'm not taking chances. I'm not bringing you back. I'll leave you to your own devices. I won't, like, execute you, but I'm absolutely like, well, you're staying the fuck away where, you're on your own, kid.
I don't know. Bear in mind, you wouldn't have any guarantee that biting's even bad.
Well, then they
Obviously,
can fucking,
blood loss is bad, but in a way,
that's what I'm saying. They can, like, live out in the world. I'm not taking the chance. I'm just saying, like, I'm not gonna, like, gun you down like a dog. I'm not gonna put you down like Old Yeller, but you can't come back. And, maybe if like a month passes and you're feeling fine, you remember where to find us. Let us know. I'd be curious to know.
There you go. Now I've got a book.
Now, of course, I say that if I got bit, I'd start wearing long sleeve shirts. I'd do everything to hide that, and then I'd become a problem. I give it a
I
few
thought you were gonna say
days,
you have to be
I
extra
eventually
nice to
succumb.
me. You have to bring me hot chocolate in bed.
No, I would let that shit fester, and I would become a problem. I would ruin it for everyone else.
You just side with the
I'm
zombies at that
selfish like
point.
that. Hey, I may be a scumbag, but I'm honest.
Let me do some reloading.
How's the shotgun treating you?
Yeah, it seems really powerful, which is better, honestly, because I'm mostly using it on those, like sub-boss enemies.
We were talking before. What would improve? What change could you make to this game? What big sweeping change? I just thought of it.
Mm-hmm.
Add the minesweeper, the mine thrower, or whatever.
Hey, who knows? Maybe it is in here somewhere. just realised that explosion did not kill the coldest at all.
They're wearing
Oh, there we go.
raincoats.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. I just don't you know? Wearing a raincoat makes you impervious to splash damage.
I realised, by the way, just now, and I should have realised this way earlier, why, when the survivors are, trailing behind you, why they have an easier time. I wonder if you could figure out why.
Because the zombies don't chase after you as hard in this, so you have less from behind you, or it's the culling.
There
the way
you
that
go.
They cull the zombies behind you.
Yeah, I realised because I turned around. It's like, oh right, they just despawned. So there's nothing over there. So I haven't messed with it today, but I found that trick where in some areas, if you just don't like how many zombies spawns, you can just look away and you might get a better spawn if you turn back around.
Just close your eyes and they'll all disappear. Gas Cannon Chat says, I love the jank gas this game does decapitations. It's just the vertices just pinch off their neck.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 3 style.
Yes, very.
GTA 3 does the exact same thing, and it's
Which is weird because like neither Resident Evil 4 or the original Dead Rising did them that way. So I wonder if it's just that's a saving, memory choice. Shot that guy in the hand.
I think it's a thing where, the alternative to just pinching off the vertices would be to have a bespoke, like, severed head, like the stump, right? And you'd have to match that to the collar of the shirt.
Yeah.
That the specific zombie. So that's just like one more like set of textures you'd have to store in VRAM. Or like, like one more bespoke element you'd have to design and account for. So it's easier just to remove the head, remove all the polygons that compose of it, and then just pinch it off.
Yeah. Because to be fair, limbs, like other limbs can come off. It's just the Red 9 does so much damage that it kills before it can dismember. So you just rarely see it happen. But yeah, when I like swapped to the blacktail for that little bit, I was knocking off limbs. There we go, that's good enough.
Alright, you wounded old man. Can you crawl through these vents now?
Mind if I lie down? Go ahead, Leroy.
Yeah!
It's addicting watch you out there. Hey, got some white juice. That's a health extender.
Yeah, because health is the issue you've been having. I mean, you've been so hard up for stats in this game. It's been sad to watch. Really scrapping by.
I could see for some boss fight, like when you get to boss fights, that's when it starts to be a problem. Now we're gonna go buy that book.
Do you have to pay every time you use a shortcut, or was that just the one time?
No, that was for specific missions where he would take you to the entrance plaza, I think it was. So that was a different shortcut. We got the neck twist.
Let's twist again.
Wow, the book's very cheap.
It only cost you $22,000.
I still thought it was up with the currency outside of just they did it in yen.
Bad
and
yen conversion.
Didn't convert it, yeah.
It's bad yen conversion, that's it. They just...
There we go. We're finally taking care of these guys.
What's that racing game that is on PS2?
Mm-hmm.
They fucked up the conversion from yen to USD to such an extent that you can't finish the game because... I think I wrote about that.
Yeah, that's
Tokyo.
That's Tokyo Extreme Racer 3. So
that must have been in my games that are inadvertently impossible to complete article.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
check
think
that
you
real
can
quick.
beat the main game. It's just you can't do everything because of that. Though there is a fan patch now that fixes that.
Yes, it is Tokyo Extreme Racer 3, as featured in the badgamehallofame.com/top-5-inadvertently-impossible-games article.
But yeah, you could find it. I think if you just Google it, you can find it. There is a fix for it now.
Yeah, well, didn't do players much good back in, what, 2004?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's. I do appreciate that there are people out there that cared enough to go into old games like that and fix them. Found out recently that the international release of God Hand is like slightly censored because the Japanese version is a bit more risque with the nudity in like the magazines and posters. Because that was a ROM hack that came out recently. I was like, oh, I didn't know any of this.
Finally, I can jack off. God Hand.
There's also oh, I forget what they call the roulette move added, but I don't know what it looks like. I need to look up a video. Excuse me, lady. So yeah, now we could go to Movie Land.
With shopping cart cans.
Yeah, how do I...
No outside snacks or carts allowed.
There we go. It's weird because, yeah, in Dead Rising 1, this area is not locked off all game. You can come here earlier. Oh, let's have a look around. Well, there's a box there, but I'm not allowed over there.
Well, yeah, you're not an employee. What are you thinking?
Let's see. Well...
Mamma mia.
Yeah, I could just... throw those away. Pizza.
I wonder if this is where all the good food items are hiding. There's gonna be a steak shop behind you.
There we go.
Ah, pizza in a cup, also known as mixed juice blue.
Oh, okay, that's how you get back here. Well, there might be like one other spot that had pizza, but it was a while ago. So we'll take that. Anything in there?
There's a new outfit here. Oh, I'm spotting.
Yeah. It's not here. I know where that is though. Oh, there is this. Hang on. Loading. There we go. Well, we got her. Oh, they're poor texture. At this point,
done to my boy?
At this point, just delete the sign. Save even more memory.
I'm just thinking of like a performatively angry you were playing this game. You know what would save even more memory? Deleting this whole fucking game. Overall, a 3 out of 5.
Hello guys, Bop.
Oh man, this is almost unfair. I mean, it is blatantly unfair. What did you assume the RE4 cultists said back when you first played RE4?
Oh, I don't think I ever tried to guess.
What lines did you mishear? I deliberately misheard. I love Leno. Just professing their love for Jay Leno.
No.
Host of the Tonight Show at the time.
Okay, now this is how this encounter is set up in the main version, where you turn that corner and there's just a huge group of them. They replicated that at least.
Finally found a use for the machine pistol. Now don't get bonked on the head.
Yeah, or what? I still don't know what happened because there wasn't there was a coach nearby, but they were doing like knife moves, not.
I think it's if you get hit from behind.
Ah, okay. Yeah, because they do like poison mist basically. That's what they're supposed to do.
I think you're setting yourself up to get knocked the fuck out here, honestly. Get out of this corner. Pull out an RPG. That's in Resident Evil 4. It should be in this game.
And if you go in here.
Yeah, the entirety of To Kill a Mockingbird.
Ah, that's why they have to save so much space. Apparently the thing that a lot of indie horror games will do now is the original,
Night of the Living Dead.
yeah.
It's public domain. I remember there was some shitty Game Jolt type level of like indie horror game that I played back in like the 2010s, early 2010s. That, you know, the game is on a timer. It's 5 minutes like long before like the ghost gets you. But you can go to a TV that is playing Night of the Living Dead, and if you go into the game's files, it has just the entire movie. And it's just like, to what end?
Yeah.
You couldn't have cut this down. You couldn't have just put an animated GIF on the screen. You really had to add a whole gigabyte to your fucking download.
Those who reject salvation embrace ignorance.
A captive audience, if you will.
Now I shall return your tainted blood to the foul earth that has spawned you.
All right, moral decision. Do you agree with the cult? Do you join them, or?
Oh, that would have been fun with the multiple endings, but no. But what I'm gonna do.
Oh yeah, there is a Magnum in this game.
I don't remember if he has this dash cool move.
There's a Capcom. They went and recycled Virgil's moveset again for the old man cult leader in Dead Rising Chop Till You Drop. You're out of ammo. I think they want you to sword fight this fucker. Is what they intended to happen here.
It's so weird. Oh yeah,
I'm glad they
maybe
got Chris
there's
Angel on the soundtrack for this.
well, I did get dodge bombs or anything. God, the reload's so slow though.
I am the mall freak. Killing zombies at the mall is what I do. Maybe if the broken butterfly had hit stun, that'd be, you know, one reason to keep using it, but...
There we go. The stun keeps making me think there's gonna be cool melee moves you could do on them, and then there never is.
Strength
Well, you tried.
I still think the most brutal moment in this game is we saw it this episode. It was the prisoners just hitting that guy in the head with the baseball bat.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's almost as if this is gonna be really insightful about what I'm about to say. It's really genius. I just thought of this. What if man was the real monster? What if the humans were the bad guys? And not the zombies. It's almost like a social commentary, you see?
Almost. Oh. You guys. We good?
So is the key gonna undo the restraints on all these captives here?
Let's pick up a fresh sword.
Or is the key just gonna be...
Land warehouse key. I wonder what's even in there that's worth going into. That's that area that we got knocked out and taken to. And there we are, but I appreciate the help. Now this is the bit I'm curious about, if they're gonna make me escort this many people back. This will be a first. 4?
I mean, do they have you do this in the 360 version?
Yeah, yeah. There, everyone. Yeah, looks like it. Oh, right. If you miss this, then you miss a survivor. Yeah. Anyway, I took care of those goods. You're safe now. Where's this one? I don't think I could take them all back at security once. I'm going to take you all to a safe place, but I'll check you all at once. I'm going to protect you. So I want you to form 2 groups. I can lead one at a time. Oh, this is new.
Wow.
Weird. Alright then.
What a waste of fucking time. At this point, just fade to black.
Yeah.
Just transition back to security room. You've come far enough. You've done enough here. The game has done it before. There's no reason to make you do this backtracking back and forth other than to pad out playtime.
We'll make one more of these in case the survivor who wanted a blue drink is still...
Jones in.
Yeah.
I don't think he will because I think he's gone because I think they all left.
Well, I don't think everyone leaves when that bit happens, just a specific group of them. Yeah.
Would you eat at this food court?
Yeah, it looks good. Okay, we've got a few of the cultists left.
There was a East Coast mall food court I went to, the mall that was still relatively poppin', that has one of the best Chinese buffets I've ever eaten at my life, and then they also had like kind of bomb-ass ramen place, and then the worst pizzeria I've ever visited in my goddamn life, the worst pizza I've ever had. It's all nestled in the same strip of mall food court. Slime generator chat. Hopes, wishes, praise. I really hope the rest of Tosei's games aren't as meandering as this in Virtua Quest. I'll say this for Tosei. In the NES era, where they were really popping off, where they were the go-to developer for every studio, for every third-party game developer that had arcade divisions, and we're still trying to figure out how the NES worked and whatnot, that's where Tosei was getting most of their work. They were fine. They were competent hands at that time. They were certainly more talented than the alternative, which would have been like literal like first-time programmers, like programming for hardware they had never worked with in those like early batch of NES games. Even running into like the mid to late 80s would have been like way worse for not having had Tosei like at the helm. That being said, time goes on. Tosei did Resident Evil Survivor, Gun Survivor that is, the first and the second I believe, and those are fine, bordering on good. I think it comes down to like how much budget and time they're given, because you know, Tosei aren't the ones designing these games. They're just an implementation studio. They're just there to put the pieces together, do the low-level programming, and to bring to life the vision that is given to them by the major developer at hand, in this case, a Capcom. So Capcom would hand them a design document, give them access to all the assets, would produce, you know, anything in the way of original music or any voice acting that had to be done, to, like, stitch things together. Probably would have given them proprietary use of the proprietary Resident Evil 4 engine in this case, too, and said, work it off of this, build it off of this to save time. If not Tosei, like, requesting that as a time-saving measure. It's hard to blame Tosei for this when the decisions that dictate the direction of this would have largely come from the Capcom. You know, it's Capcom who probably recognizes that we want to put a SKU out on the Wii. We want to bring Dead Rising to the Wii to capitalize on that audience, but at the same time, we don't see the Wii as an inherently, like, valuable console. That, you know, they recognize its weaknesses in that generation. They recognize its incapability of rendering a game to the scale of a Dead Rising, right? And so they're probably making the economical decisions. They're probably saying, well, if we do it like this, if we give it to Tosei and give them this engine, they allocate a team of this many people so we can turn it out within 6 months' time. They can recycle all these assets, but they'll have to do a different structure. They'll have to do like a different way of like compartmentalizing the stuff. So they'll scheme up those sorts of ideas and then leave it to Tosei to do the implementation. Is how I am to understand how Tosei did a lot of their work. Now, that isn't to say that Tosei has like no inputs, that, you know, Tosei are not making decisions as to what needs to get cut, what is outside of their scope as they see it, given the time and the budget constraints. You know, maybe they are making some structural decisions. Maybe the word from Capcom is you have to use this engine, make it more like a third-person shooter, or we're giving you this to like save this amount of time to bake in these amount of resources that you can work from. And then it's Tosei who says, well, if we're doing it this way, we're going to gut the open world element and do it in these mission structures. They would still have to bring that back to Capcom. They would still have to take that idea, bring it back to their liaison at Capcom and say, is this cool that we do it this way? Is this too compromised? Is this straying too far from the vision? And at some point, Capcom said, no, that's fine. If it puts the game on the shelf in the timeline that we have put together for this, then it's fine. Now, you can still lay blame on Tosei for, you know, if a thing is not particularly well implemented, if the edges on something are rough, if you can spot the economy, you know, if they're not doing a good enough job, if they don't care enough to disguise or massage a lot of those details, to do their best to, like, you know, to polish the turd or what have you. I don't want to say that necessarily, because I do think there's merit to this game at the end of the day. I do think there is, like, novel things happening here. It's a novel reinterpretation. But at the end of the day, I feel like Capcom deserves the lion's share of the blame for what this game is and the way it plays. and Tosei are just the ones. They're the ones who pulled the trigger, but it's Capcom who gave the order, who ordered the hit, as it were. So, and it depends on the culpability, I guess, depends on your perspective personally, whether you feel that a developer is responsible in some capacity for, in what capacity they're responsible for the end product, for the level of effort that goes into it, and the execution thereof. And I'm seeing what Slime's saying. To be clear, Slime, I'm not blaming you or using this. I was using this as an example to talk about Tosei, just in general, because I think the idea of ghost developers, which we've been talking about between this playthrough and Virtua Quest, is just a fascinating aspect of game dev that not a lot of people know about, that not a lot of people think about. That, you take Joe Schmo off the street, you ask him who made Donkey Kong, and everyone's going to say Nintendo. Even people who are self-professed Nintendo fans will say Nintendo 99 times out of 100. And if you challenge them with the idea that, no, Nintendo didn't have arcade developers at the time, they didn't have anyone on the team who knew how to make an arcade game, they hired an outside developer and didn't credit them, and actually got into hot water legally over their attempts to steal that code and utilize it on their own and screw Ikegami Suhinki out of royalties and stuff. And that's a fascinating saga in and of itself. But to read Slime's comments here, just so they can further elaborate, so I can give them the benefit of what they're saying here. I was wondering if the nature of handing things off to a ghost developer would lead to functional but blasé games like this. That's all I need to know. I don't mean to lay blame at their feet. I'm more wondering about the results you get from a ghost-developed contract work. This is all conjecture because it's kept in the shadows, but certainly they were answering the bosses and working with limited resources. It's a fascinating topic to dig into and postulate about. And yeah, that's why I'm so fascinated by this stuff. And why I really hone in on Tosei. So many games on the Bad Game Hall of Fame website that we reviewed, that we covered, had Tosei working behind the scenes. And so you can say by volume that so many of the games you were putting out were dog shit based on that, based on the quantity of times they showed up in that particular wing of the Hall of Fame. And then to see them continue into modern day. But this is another point I have to raise, and I know you're finally getting to a part of this mission where something interesting might actually happen, and you're not just doing the same lap over and over again. So I've timed this mostly well. Yeah. I've timed this mostly okay. How do I articulate this actually? It's something to the effect of, what is the mark of a good developer in the games industry? From the consumer end, it's the quality of the game. It's, how eminently replayable it is. It's a measure of the graphics and the gameplay, blah, 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 blah. When you ask the critics, it's a matter of how does it score across these metrics, across graphics, replay value, and sound design and whatever. But when you are talking to people who are in the industry, when you are talking to anyone between the C-suite and the developers on the ground floor, the mark of a professional developer is they got the game done on budget and on time.
Yeah.
And Tosei, to their credit, by all measures, were always on time and on budget. So, by that metric, they're the best in the game. They're the best to ever do it. Yeah. Kojima was never on budget or on time. Kojima's games all ballooned past a certain point. That's why he had issues with Konami. By that measure, he's the worst developer who ever lived.
I'm curious if you know enough about Tosei's full library. What would be, you would argue, some of their best output? I know you mentioned Resident Evil Gun, Survivor 1 and 2 there, but have they done anything else notable?
I'd have to look at the catalog again because I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge for everything they worked on. And a lot of games that they worked on are obviously still unknown. There have been efforts to try and complete the catalog as far as putting their name to the games they worked on. But a lot of that is still obfuscated. I mean, it was all meant to be obfuscated. We were never meant to know this stuff. Especially in recent years, where the point of a ghost developer now, the role of a ghost developer has shifted, to be clear. Where back in the day they do all the programming, now they just work in the same way that support studios do. Now they just do supplemental design. Mm-hmm. the main team is working on like the main campaign, and you need someone to scrap together some weird esoteric mini game within your game. You can, rather than diverting resources away from your primary team who are working on like the actual like core mechanics, you can find some third-party studio to like slap that stuff together and ultimately like implement it in a way that is accessible, that connects to the main game, but can be like on its own bespoke engine, or is leveraging like B assets or Z assets even. There's a value to that into having those studios. It streamlines production. So let me also read this message from chat. I think it speaks a lot of good about Tosa that they were able to make a solid foundation with limited resources and lack of agency they're given. This and Virtual Quest are definitely not broken or buggy in any notable way, at least from my layman's perspective. Yeah, they're functional products. That's a big component of, is that, can you get from A to B? Is it gold? Can we get this game to gold in this amount of time? A lot of that comes to like streamlining your design, and the way that this game streamlines its design, simplifying aspects of it. Anyway, that was a lot of talking for me. I did a lot of talking there for uninterrupted stretch of time, so...
No, it's good though, because it is such a fascinating topic, and yeah, like, you can say what you want about this and Virtual Quest, but yeah, they are functional in, the most literal definition of it. Like, even if stuff doesn't function great, and there's, for example, in Virtual Quest, there is a bit of janky stuff you could do with the platforming. It's less to do with like, oh, it's buggy because this thing should work. It's just that's the way it's designed. It's very deliberate, even if that's sometimes like in a anti-player way. Yeah, you guys keep scratching. I'm curious though. Obviously, it's maybe hard to know because of the nature of Ghost developers, but how common has it been in the past, like 5 to 10 years, considering how much outsourcing and like multiple teams working on a game, like, oh yeah, we did this outsourcing and this developer just did background art, vice versa. Like, if Ghost development is still done in the industry,
utilizing that capacity.
Well, I've just been specifically not being credited. Obviously, there's issues with individuals being credited. I mean, technically, I've worked on games that I'm not credited for because it's just down as the company, because of the way that their outsourcing worked.
That's the way it would still work in this capacity, is that you'll see, like, in this special thanks, or, like, you'll see, like, a studio name mentioned or a company name mentioned, and none of the individual credits there within.
Okay. Yeah.
And, it sucks. But that is like the way these companies are structured. It is the way they are fundamentally. When you join a company like that, you know what you're getting into. I've talked about like how not having those credits, not being able to like point to your name in the credits of a game is one, disheartening, and two, means you also can't necessarily put it on a resume, a portfolio, what have you, a CV. But you're at least. This is gonna sound very like capitalist of me. And I don't mean this when I say this. I'm saying this as a devil's advocate point. I'm saying this as that you're getting valuable experience, like an internship, except one that you're paid for. You are paid if you're working as a Ghost developer. You're getting paid. Not the best wages in the industry, but you're getting paid, and you are learning like on the job how to program a game.
But yes, it's a shame crediting stuff is still a problem. I think, was it Rockstar? I don't know if they've changed. Obviously, they've got their own issues right now, but at one point they wouldn't credit the developers who left before a game was released, even if they weren't working on it anymore.
Yeah, that's just despicable is what that is. I mean, at the very least, put them in the special thanks, which is, in case folk don't know what like special thanks really means, in the case of most like games, it is a purgatory for people who are no longer involved with the project at the time the game comes out. That is like what most of a special thanks is made up of. That and like like executives or like C-suite people at outside companies. Like, if you see a Shigeru Miyamoto, that's not to say Shigeru Miyamoto was working on a game then got cut midway through. It's just, there are legitimate uses for special thanks. I mean, same thing with film industry, by the way. Like special thanks is where like a lot of like crew members who or actors who participate for a brief period of time and then get recast will wind up in a special thanks in a similar sort of way.
As soon as Brad gets his hands on that terrorist, I guess it'll be case closed, huh?
No. You know of anything else he could be planning?
No. Nothing but the bombs. He's got his computer hidden away. I'm sure there's plenty of information on it.
Can you take me there? To his hideout?
Leave it to me.
Is it going to be case like 7-2 or 7-2 closes? Oh,
Yep.
we're in case 8 now.
Yep.
Okay, there we go.
How you doing? Oh, if you look at Isabella, she went off ahead. She should be waiting from the other end of the duck. Alright. Let me find this old guy. Oh, I don't remember what room he's in. See if he still wants some blue juice.
All right.
Thanks.
Get away from me!
It looks like the gang's all here, honestly.
It's probably, yeah,
Who
like
are
I
we
said,
missing?
it's going to be a specific room, I bet, that's going to have less of them in there. Aha, maybe this room.
Signs point to yes.
Yeah. This is another platform different thing. These will be in bespoke loads. You could actually look through the windows to see who was in what rooms. I feel so good.
He hasn't turned yet. All things in due time.
Let's see. No, not you.
Thanks. Thank you very much. Yes.
Slime continuing on the Tosei tip,
Mm-hmm.
which I'll indulge just a little bit longer. So I can indulge myself by hearing this out of my own voice. I saw Tosei in a special thanks while briefly going through some of the recent credits. That, or they were listed as like one of 50 members of the Nintendo SDK development team for one of the first-party Switch games or something. You'll see a lot of that too. Make no mistake that when I talk about Nintendo outsourcing development of Donkey Kong to Ikigami Suhinki, they still do that shit all the time, especially for their compilation-style games. What was that Switch one that was like Hello Switch, 1-2 Switch, something like that?
Oh, yeah, 1-2 switch, yeah.
That was all outside contracting, if I recall correctly.
Thanks.
And studios like Tosei are still very important in another example I just thought of before I get back on my Tosei tip. The studios like Yuji Naka and Naoto Oshima, both founded post Sega but before Balan Wonderworld, where they were contract studios, support studios doing work for Nintendo for like I think it was like a 3DS, like the mini games on the 3DS that you bought bespokely or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? Like the rabbit who sells you the games.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They developed some of
badge,
those, if I
yeah.
recall correctly. And I don't, and they were, that's like effectively ghost development. And there's no fucking credits roll. There's no grand credits roll for the 3DS, right? You can dig through system menus to find an about and find like the licensing information, and maybe if you scroll down there, you'll see a credit or two, or maybe like the applications have like a bespoke like credit screen. I'm not familiar enough to know offhand, but I'm gonna bet it's not like front and center that Nintendo did not make the mini games for the 3DS, right? Because why would they be? Why would they be like forward about that? And so Tosei is going to do a lot of like contract work like that still. And when it comes to SDK, like you got to bear in mind that Tosei are folk with, as a team, cumulatively like 50 years experience in the industry going on. Maybe more like 40. My math isn't good. But that speaks to a level of expertise that they have collectively as a team, and they probably have some amount of sway. I would hazard to guess that a company like Nintendo, or a manufacturer like Nintendo in this case, comes in, says, "Hey, we're testing the limitations. We're testing potentiality of this system, of what this can do. We want someone to put it through the paces. So throw stuff against this. See how intuitive the SDK is, and give us an idea of how like open our platform is and how developers might struggle to work with this. And so that would just be like a consultation role. And it would also, you know, be a benefit to them because they'll get an inside scoop, an early preview of what the technology can do, especially if they know they're going to be designing games for that platform later down the line. You know, it behooves them to get in on it early and like have a look at those specs and, you know, have like immediate access to that SDK as well. Because I'm sure they're walking away. I'm sure they're negotiating. Like, yeah, we'll let you know, and you will also give us development kits. You will also give us these in advance, in bulk, for our big company, which is Tosei. So it's a lot of like interesting like negotiation and contract and like purpose-built studios that make the game industry run. And again, deeply fascinating and largely unknown to the game's audience at large. Anyway, that's all a very long way of saying this game sucks. This game stinks. Fuck you, Tosei.
Well, hey, we're actually kind of free roaming right now.
Kind of. I mean, you have a big arrow pointing you in the direction you need to go.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
but you need to look after this entire time.
But we could just go to a lot of weird places if we really wanted to.
Go out on a date. Take her to the food court. Ask her if she likes American hamburgers or whatever the name of that one restaurant is.
Probably not with a backstory.
Yeah, you know, I say that, I realize now. How do you feel about beef?
Oh, that was one shot. Wasn't expecting it. Okay, well, I think I roughly know where we need to go with her right now.
Again, I say, giant arrow at the top of the
screen.
Oh
yeah, I mean like where it's going, the destination is. I think we're going to the North Plaza again. There he is, there's the cliff.
Bicycle built for two. Hurry up, Isabella. Maybe that tackle pushed her close enough that you can open the door. Well, then you pushed her back. With that explosion.
There we go. And while I'm here, I'll have one more look at this hardware store. See what's up with it. But see, at least, because it's late in the 3 days and it's getting close to night, they're trying up the zombie count now a bit.
Have you noticed any performance hiccups in this game?
Actually, no.
As the density increases? Yeah.
It's more that... Oh, okay. Oh.
Well, you got your hopes up.
Yeah, because normally this is just open, and then there's a load you travel between when you go in.
I will say that it's fairly smart that, you know, for as much as the big complaint about this game is the lack of zombie density, and how they're working to remedy that now, which to some would demonstrate, you mean they could have had this many zombies the entire time? Then why didn't they? It's because you want to leave that overhead.
Oh,
you
yeah,
don't
yeah.
want the game suffering performance-wise. It's probably smart. It was probably for the best to have less zombies, to err on the side of caution for as long as possible.
Yeah.
And then push the limits a bit harder later down the line.
And it does
which
match.
I guess speaks to.
Yeah. It does match the progression of the main version as the days go on. And you know, the story reason is that the front gate got ripped open, so zombies are just constantly piling into this area.
Does Carlita have a gun?
She does, but she doesn't seem very good with it.
I was gonna say, you're doing all the legwork here.
Yeah, yeah.
How much work does Luis Serra do in Resident Evil 4? Does he actually like score kills?
I think he's decently competent. Yeah. I don't know if you could leave the... Oh! Oh, come on. There we go. It's weird, I could tell that's the same animation, but they've like sped it up, so it looks weird. It looks weird.
Here it is. Let's go.
That doesn't look like the same location that they just popped out of.
Do you know why? Because it's not this dark in the 360 version. It's more mood light in here, where it's normally, you'll see, it's brighter. Go take some penicillin. That's his plan.
It's no good. It's password protected. I'll try words we both might know. Family stuff. Things like that.
One of the most popular passwords is God.
Pathetic. Horrible OPSEC.
It's like part of a jamming device. I won't be able to disable it unless I log in.
Frank, can you hear me? I found
Some jamming device.
security feed from inside a store. Could you come back here? I need you to check it out.
All right, I'm headed back now.
I see what you're doing, game. Oh god, if you ever look up the art book for Dead Rising 1, there's some very suspect art.
Capcom, never.
Carly didn't trust anyone, not even me. I mean, if you're being on part of the plan, they never told me the password. But yeah, it's weird seeing this area like look a bit more realistic, to have less lighting in it. Because in the 360 version,
Also, I hate to
it's
do
quite
this,
bright.
but I have to step away for a few minutes, so
Alright.
I will leave you to it for the time being. I hopefully will return.
Yeah, yeah. Alright, let's where's this game say we're going? Oh, back to security room.
We here at the Woodland Park believe that things come in threes. That's why we're so very pleased to announce our 3rd anniversary extravaganza. Beginning on the 10th of
Okay, well, while we're here,
the entire mall will be transformed into a wonderland of exciting food, games, food,
hey, leveled up.
Willamette Parkview Mall, proudly serving the greater Willamette area for 3 years.
I'm Stock's always a good one. But now I feel silly. I guess, unless this door's gonna be marked as locked, I wonder if we could have come into the hardware store this whole time. God, this helmet should be giving me more protection than it is. That. Cool. Now, why would you ever come in here? Is the question.
You're so close to 5,000 zombies killed. How many zombies would you probably have killed by this point in the 360 game?
It probably would have been close to... Actually, maybe less even.
I would have assumed it would be like 20,000, 30,000 more.
No. That takes multiple playthroughs or going out of your way to do it. You have to remember, Dead Rising 1... that main version, you only get XP for, I think it's like every 100 zombie kills. You get way more from survivors and photos. Let's see. Let's peruse the store here. That's toolbox. This thing. What is this thing? It's like a step ladder, but not.
Show me again. I don't know. It looks like a step ladder to me. It's or like one that you lean against. It's hard to tell, I guess, because of the way that he holds it.
Oh, you can't really throw objects in this. Or if you can, I don't know how. I guess you just can't. There we go. Yeah, I guess it's... Oh, yeah, it's like a broken stepladder, I guess.
That must be, yeah. Slime in chat says, I don't like thinking about the logic of killing the undead because the semantics of it hurt my head. You know, at a certain point, you know, the way that I've always compartmentalized it is that, you know, it's not the person you knew. It's not the person anymore. It's whatever the parasitic organism that dictates the behavior is. It's like those bugs that get taken over by that other parasite or whatever.
Yeah, the actual real-world zombies, yeah.
They're not the bug you knew. It's not the stag beetle you knew. You have to let go of your memories of Auntie, the ant. But, you know, at the same time, that would, if that was the reality, if that's how the world perceived zombies, then my God, wouldn't all zombie media be completely useless? Wouldn't all zombie, like, movies and literature just be boring as shit if everyone was, like, as practical about it, right? It's...
Yeah. I mean, like, it doesn't always happen, but the take I like on the zombie one is where there is some remnant of the person left, and there is that moral quandary. You know, like
yeah,
Resident Evil 1,
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, Shaun of the Dead does it a little bit, but Resident Evil 1, people forget the zombies aren't dead in that. Those aren't dead people you're shooting at.
No, it's biomutant. It's biomutation. They just
like the whole
have their thoughts compromised by a singular urge to feed, due to the strain of the T virus or whatever other virus in any ever given.
I believe it's T virus in that one. Ah, look at all these weapons we can't use. Yeah,
Slime says, I personally think that all these kill counts should be counted twice for each person, because the first the person dies, then you kill the parasite. So by that measure, you're close to 10,000 kills, Johnny. Congratulations.
Yeah. Okay, there's this drill thing, but we've seen that in other areas. Oh, I know why I looked up there. That was... Yeah, there wasn't really anything worth coming in here for.
No, but they have the assets.
Yeah, so unless a survivor mission comes up later.
It might well, with the wretched way this game is paced.
But yeah, it's a shame they didn't put anything. Because what I found is like a lot of the weapons that would be unique to a very specific area are more spread out. Because the big drill looking thing, the two-handed drill, you totally find that in this version elsewhere. I found that a couple of times.
That's the way you want to do it, because, okay, what's the alternative? You hide these weapons until the very end of the game when you open up that warehouse. You want to tease them towards the beginning, like the super weapons, or even like, the pizza, right? That you can now consistently get from that pizza place, which was, maybe like a occasional spawn earlier.
Mm-hmm.
These food items that you desperately want access to make, like, the more advanced cocktails, and you're like, scraping by looking for them throughout the course of the game, and then like as you progress you're unlocking, like, well, here's where you can consistently get steak, right? You find a steakhouse in one of these sections now, and it makes that whole process that much easier.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just progression. That's just
I don't think I unlocked that warehouse. I think I just did not realize that there was going to be a bespoke door, because that's just, again, it's an open area. No, like I said, it is timed, I think. Like, you have to get to a certain point, because that's when the boss fight with Clive opens up. Hey, it worked. But yeah, I guess, this version, I could have just gone there at any point where I was like on this case.
Who's to say? This game being as poorly documented as it is.
Yeah. I mean, technically, during most of the survivor missions, you can just go out and explore, but you're going to get a bad rank. But I don't think...
You can't repeat missions, right?
Not that I know of, unless you unlock something. Maybe that's a post-game thing. Because I don't know if the unlimited mode from the 361, where you had to like survive as long as possible and your health would go down over time, so you had to use food to like survival mechanic. I don't know if
almost like filling hunger.
Yeah. I don't know if that mode's even in this version, and it probably wouldn't make much sense to be.
No, I would sincerely doubt it.
Especially because
it'd be neat if they had it.
Yeah. Because I can't imagine this version could even track individual... Because, that version, food items don't respawn. So there's a set amount of healing items you can even make. Get some reloads. There we go. That.
So do you think we'll get continuation of the case when you get back?
Yeah,
at
that's
the stage,
that's
because we're biding time for What would be your point of no return where you say we're finishing this tonight?
Oh, I think based on where we are, it's going to be, it's just like, the facts. Because I've already mentioned in this playthrough there is more content after the case files. Unlike
Yeah,
the
I think it's
360
pretty well
version, you
established.
don't have those multiple paths and endings.
Take a look at this.
Oh, yeah.
The guy being dragged? I think it's Carlito.
You could be right. Where is this?
The basement of the North Plaza. Right in front of the butcher's shop.
All right, let him have it. If this...
There we go. There's the facts. I don't think it's saved, so...
Might as well. Better safe than sorry. It does annoy me with the way that cutscenes are counted as bespoke cases in some instances.
Yeah, that's just because of how the change is, because normally you would get the cutscene and then there would be a certain amount of time to do like free roaming stuff.
Yeah.
If you head to the under suns, you get there pretty easily. Alright. See what route it takes us on. And yeah, it's because that's how they have to do you know, because there's no real time. That's how they have to do the day-night cycle. Oh. Glad they let me reload. There we go. Why not?
What other cool dance moves will you unlock? That's to swing your partner round and round.
Yeah. There is a lot of abilities, like melee abilities, we don't have there in Dead Rising. There's like funny enough, there's like a Jackie Bryant flip kick. Wow, why just all the zombies like, okay, it's day 3, we gotta put the helmets on now. Even
Safety. OSHA came through.
This does not happen in Dead Rising 1. This enemy with this hat is impossible in Dead Rising 1.
Also, they were sawing their own neck with the knife there, clearly. They were clearly cutting into their own.
Very strange. Yeah,
Strange
there's a
game.
flip kick. There's the wrestling move, the bulldog. That's one of the really good ones because that's an instant kill. Like, it's basically like a sneak attack. If you could get behind a zombie. I get why it's not here. There's the move where you... oh. Hello. You know, while I'm doing this, let's see.
Yeah!
Frank's excited.
Okay.
When is he not?
That's the drink that can give me the power up, but it's random chance.
I think it maxed out your health this
Yeah.
time around.
Yeah. If you're unlucky, it can do the opposite.
Now, if you do finish the game in this episode...
Ah, no, we're not finishing the game. I think the final, like, extra time they put on is 1 in-game day, so they're probably going to spread it out that much? Actually, I don't know. We might want to check that, actually.
Yeah, I suppose I'll look. Take a quick look. It's in a book. Or in a YouTube long play.
Yeah. You know, I think I mentioned on the earlier days that the zombies' behavior getting more aggressive at night didn't happen, but I think they might have actually enabled it now. But they've also just put more of those, like, sub sub boss zombies around. So maybe I'm just attributing it to them. Alright, let's try again. Yep.
We're going up against Larry Chong, I believe is the name of this boss,
yes,
right?
yeah.
All right, so that happens at 5 hours 38 minutes in the long play. There are 2 hours remaining.
Okay, yeah. So that's probably one more episode.
All right. In that case, I'm going to keep it secret how I want you to celebrate the end of this game when the time comes.
But the guy was having a bit of trouble. Okay, yeah, no, the zombies are like a bit more aggressive with the grabs and things like that. More of them are running towards me now. Speaking of, hello.
So nice of them to sit around and wait for you.
Red line's good, but it doesn't stun like the shotgun does. Might have to actually go and make drinks again soon.
Pizzeria, go to Movie Land.
Well, those are the...
Roll the dice yet again.
Yeah, those are the dice roll ones.
I think they want you in the car.
Yeah, I just want to double check this. Oh no, they don't even let me. It's too important to the story to go this way right now. I just wanted to have another look at that menu. Couldn't remember what all the options were.
Now there has to be, surely, if not the unlimited mode, there has to be some sort of unlockable, just walk around the mall mode past a certain point, right?
Well, we'll see. There's been enough moments in the story where you could have just ignored the case and just like explored for as long as you wanted. Alright. You got a collar on. Get ready to target it.
A customer.
That guy over there. I mean, that meat.
Oh, this is good meat, huh? I just got it in here. It's fresh. You just wait right there, sir. In a moment, you can try the best ground meat you've ever tasted.
Whoa, ground? Wait a minute, listen. I had something else in mind.
Zombies are no good. I can't...
Did they clean this up for the remaster? Did
This
they do
guy
anything
got redesigned, yeah. Which some people complained about because they're idiots.
have a reputation to uphold. Trust me, I'm a butcher.
Some people think he was like completely made white, but I don't think that was the intention. He's just not a racist caricature anymore.
So is there going to be a time limit on this fight, or do you think they're just going to scrap that and forget about that mechanic completely?
Well, he's moving on that thing.
He's got a health bar.
Yeah.
How anticlimactic would it be if this one shot is enough to kill a human? So all these boss fights are
Yeah.
just one shot. This song in the 360 version.
I think it is, yeah. Come on, reload.
Yeah, shotgun seems like the way to go.
It's just when you have to
I think-
reload. And I don't
Well,
think...
that's when you run away. That's when you just get away, find a corner, reload.
And I can't...
You can't do it like Resident Evil 4. You can't combine.
Yeah.
Slime says, I think the boss music with the father-son's tree was the only music original to this game
Yeah.
we've happened upon so far.
Oh, that was terrible. I didn't even call it original because it felt... There we go. Felt like weird cutscene audio they just looped and layered. But yeah, no, I have problems with the deluxe remaster, but them making that guy not a racial stereotype is not one of them.
It's over.
What about Isabella?
She's on our side now. She's checking out your computer right now.
My purpose in life has been to get revenge for what you people did to Santa Cabeza, to my hometown. Why? Why was your meat so much more important to you than human life? Why? Why did my people have to die to feed your fat bellies?
That doesn't excuse what you've done. But I promise, the Santa Cabeza story will be told. But I need the password. Hey. Hey! Hey! Stay with me! Give me the computer's password!
Hey. Aren't zombies great? I mean, all they do is eat, and eat, and eat, growing in number. Just like you good red, white, and blue Americans. It's not over. Not yet.
Speak! Speak, damn it! What do you mean it's not over?
I'm sorry, Isabella. Give this to my sister.
Hey.
As maybe shocking to hear, but that scene, still carries some amount of weight,
Yeah.
but certainly not as much weight as it would have in the original game. I think a big problem with this whole thing, this whole package, is just as much as the complaint has been that this game meanders and drags. When it comes to the way the pacing of the case files, it really drains them of emotional depth. The way that it is paced here, the particular way in which they speed through the cases, do them back to back, don't give you time to sit on anything, really. But they did what they could with the pieces they had on hand. They tried to make the puzzle fit together as best they could. Just wasn't good enough. But whatever, what they could have done. It's entirely possible that in the process of converting this game to the Wii, knowing it was going to have a at the time far larger audience than the 360 could have potentially had. I mean, there was always the chance that this game could have outsold Dead Rising on 360.
Yeah.
I mean, the version of Dead Rising that most people would have been familiar with. I think marketing got in the way of that. I think distribution and just what the focus was on the Wii, circumstances thankfully conspired to prevent that particular reality. But what they could have done? They could have cleaned up the game. They could have got rid of anything that was critical of America. That's a route they could have got. That's probably a route they discussed at a certain point. They're like, hey, as long as we're cutting this game down to size, as long as we're scrapping entire through lines and elements of gameplay, why don't we cut out the parts that make Americans feel bad about themselves? What would have stopped them? Who would have stopped them? Besides, creative directors who were very insistent, no, this is what the entire game's about. This is literally the message of the game. I mean, Carlito literally spells it out, doesn't he, in that cutscene? He literally just draws the parallel in case it was somehow going whoosh over your head up to this point.
Let me see. The funny thing is, though, is that this series, even with the first game, has always sold better in international in the West than it has in Japan. And I was thinking about it because I remember earlier in the playthrough you asked me who's this for? And the big thing I remembered is that adoption of this 7th gen hardware like the 360 and the PS3 was slow in Japan. Especially the 360, especially
especially
bomb there. But a big thing of it was that a lot of Japanese homes didn't have the room for the TVs, and yes, you could do this. But yeah, they didn't have the room for the TVs, and also those consoles were giant for the time, especially the PS3.
Brad?
So yeah, maybe this more gamified version might have appealed to a Japanese audience bigger, but it clearly didn't.
Don't get any closer. Stay away, Frank. Don't get near me.
What's the matter, Brad?
I'm all dirty. I don't want to be seen like this.
I'm coming over there, Brad. We'll go back together. If you're hurt, we'll patch you up.
I'm screwed. It doesn't hurt. Not even a little. I'm already dead. Frank. Don't tell Jesse about this.
All right, boss fight time.
I'm
That's
glad
how
I'm glad they
tasteless I
kept that
expect
though.
this Wii version.
I'm glad that scene was still. There you go. Though.
Oh my god. Yeah, well. I guess it was inevitable.
He does have more health though. So you're not wrong about the boss fight thing.
So was this mandatory?
No,
Like, was this just like
you could completely miss this. No,
and still get the best ending in the 360 version?
Yeah, it was entirely optional. Jeez, they made him really tough in this version, I think.
Just like Slime says, when a zombie used to be your friend, it makes them harder to kill.
You know, I'll try the Magnum.
Yeah, maybe now it'll finally be useful.
I like it. They're just watching the fight, I guess. Wait, is he just invincible?
No way. I mean, this is extreme, but there's no way he's invincible. That'd be so stupid.
Okay.
Oh, that.
No,
there you go.
no special bonus or anything. I mean, that does show
drop
you
anything.
How much of a badass he was that he got locked in this room, though it looks very different when you come into it yourself, with no weapons, just a flashlight, and he still managed to survive long enough to come out of the room.
I mean, sure. Yeah, it's
well, the fact he didn't just immediately die like in here. Yeah, rest in peace, Brad. But yeah, you forget, especially with what happened with this series, of like the first game was quite serious and grounded at times, and the silliness came more from the gameplay.
Yeah, that's more the prescient point, I would say.
And like even Dead Rising 2 that still tries to have like its moral message about like capital and like the government and exploitation, ends up turning out like a lot more goofy the way it's done, especially once it gets into like the government conspiracy stuff of, oh yeah, the government's creating the zombies and all that.
And then there's Dead Rising 3, which doesn't that game just lose the plot at some point?
The president gets turned into a zombie on camera and then shot. That's a plot point.
Well, you know, Resident Evil 6 did it first, right? So yeah. And then what? Not Resident Evil 4. Fuck. Dead Rising 4 was supposed to be the return to form, and then it just wasn't.
Oh, the history of Dead Rising 4 is fascinating, because it sounds like we almost got a good one. One of the planned versions they had was it was going to be a prequel to 3, so it was going to be Chuck and his daughter from 2, but before the events of 3, and it was going to be them in South America, and I think he was specifically going to go to Santa Cabeza, and it was going to have more of an emphasis on like climbing on top of buildings and things like that.
Oh, fuck that. Who gives a shit? They don't need to Ubisoft up Dead Rising.
Well, not to
much.
that extent. Think more what Dying Light does, where you...
Choppers, Although we
Because-
Dying Light is the Ubisoftification of zombie games in my mind.
There's no check marker. There's no. Okay, well there is towers, but they don't do the same thing in that.
Yeah, but it's just an endless pursuit of like progression hooks and just like missions, like side objectives that just feel like completely like recyclable. Like you might as well be getting them from like Preston Garvey in Fallout 4 past a certain point to me. I got nothing out of those games.
Fair enough. Well, what I'm talking about more is more just the traversal, because a big part like Dead Rising, even in 2, is like learning ways to platform around zombies. That's actually a mechanic that's kind of missing from this with the lack of the jump button.
Yeah,
know,
that's
like,
fair.
Like climbing on top of this scaffolding or getting on top of like shop awnings. Alright.
Getting turned around.
Shouldn't use that too much, but. Well, yeah, gotta go talk to Isabella first.
Let her know the good news. We don't got to
Yeah.
worry about that guy anymore. The day is saved.
Yeah. But then Microsoft, who were co-funding it, because they co-funded to get Dead Rising 3 a Xbox One exclusive launch title. They said, "Hey, can you make us a Last of Us game called Dead Rising?"
Right.
So they did that without telling Capcom. Capcom checks in on them, gets very mad, fires the who were the creative directors at the time, and apparently like every time the SKU would change, whoever was in charge would get fired, like whoever was creative lead. So then in like 13 months they made that
He's dead.
that weird Christmas game. And yeah, a lot of that whole return to form thing was just marketing spiel. Sounds like the devs knew, but their job was to
All
say otherwise.
you in the end. But damn it! He died without telling me a damn thing. You know, I thought he was terrorist scum. But
Damn if you weren't a snappy dresser.
in the end, all he really cared about was his sister. The jerk. Here. He wanted you to have this.
Papa. Mama. Pachamama.
Did you figure it out?
Pachamama. Mother Earth. Our parents said that a lot. The place we lived, Santa Cabeza, was blessed with nature. Please believe me when I say my brother didn't want all this. He only wanted to live in peace in Santa Cabeza.
Alright, there we go.
Them's the facts. You know what I think you should do, Johnny?
Mm-hmm.
I think you should wrap it up for here.
Yeah, we don't want to...
Because
Alright.
I mean, theoretically, you could, like, finish the whole thing out. Oh, we'll let this play.
Yeah.
Frank, the emergency line's been freed up. I'll give headquarters a call. Hang on.
DHS headquarters.
This is Agent Jessica McCarney. We have an emergency situation.
Yeah,
And there we are.
Oh.
Yeah, I figure.
I was hoping
this
we get the
for
animation.
Milk it for one more episode rather than trying to like cram it all in, because you know we could have like another like 2 hours at hand here, hour and a half.
Oh no,
and
I
who
knew
knows what like stuff we unlock too, right?
Yeah, I knew there was more after this. I was just going to end at the safe
No,
house.
I know you knew
but
where
we
it was going to
can-
end. I just figured, yeah.
Alright.
But I figured that's as natural an endpoint as any. Keep people in suspense if this is somehow their first time experiencing the Dead
Yeah.
Rising narrative.
Yeah, no, fair enough then. Alright then. Well, I think with that, we can head over here.
Well,
Give me a sec. It's because I've been in a weird pose to hold my Wiimotes. Alright, well, yeah, with that being said, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you like the show, thank you. That's I really appreciate that personally. But also, if you'd like to support us, you can do so by subscribing to us here on Twitch, becoming a member on YouTube, or backing us on Patreon. Any of those above will give you access to the Patreon Status channel on our Discord server, where you can, gain access to the exclusive content like the VODs for Casual Mondays and help cast votes on future Patreon polls and other future events with the channel. Our Discord, by the way, is the Game Room, discord.gg/bghof. Come hang out, talk the good games, the bad games, the freaks, the geeks, the uglies, any kind of games, and the non-games as well. But we also do have the Bad Game Club if you want to dive deep into the world of bad games. This month we're playing, more game bad by reputation, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, the entry-level style Final Fantasy game that is very, very different from a regular Final Fantasy. So if you've only heard of its reputation and maybe heard it's stinky, come give it a try, you might be surprised. If you can't support us financially, we totally understand. With the state of things, also, the shopping season, it's all cool. Again, we just appreciate people coming and watching us. But if you want to try and support us another way, you could check out our YouTube channel, at Bad Game Hall of Fame on YouTube. We also have a recommended viewing playlist where we have 20 hand-picked episodes we think are good on board in if you want to share us content around. And if you like this episode, if you know any DHS agents, never mind. If you know any, I don't know now. If you know anyone else,
anyone at all.
Yeah, you can show them this episode. Anyone who likes emotional cutscenes, they could get into those. Also, should we go through the schedule now? I know we normally do.
Yeah, this should be good time for it. Yeah.
Tomorrow, we are all back for our the second annual Bad Bibles game. 'Tis the season of joy, and what's more joyous than checking out some of the strange games, the biblical games out there. Monday, we will return with our weekly Casual Monday show, where we just bring random games to our fancy, have a nice, good old casual time. Casual wear is accepted. And then on Tuesday, we'll be back with what is hopefully pretty sure will be the final part of Virtua Quest, right? No,
Very likely.
I got that. No, sorry. Tuesday is Gollum.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay.
Lord of the Rings
yes.
Gollum. Yeah, I forgot because we swapped it 1 week. Yes, on Tuesday, Lord of the Rings Gollum, where I will say should be the final episode in the prison. There's a whole
Yes.
a lot more game after that though. Definitely not the final episode of that one, but we should be seeing something new. Maybe it's another prison. Who knows? We might get lucky. So come check that out. And then on Thursday should be the finale of the Patreon Saints Voted Virtua Quest episode. And then we'll have to, look into more Patreon votes for there. So, if you want to see and interact with that again, that'll be soon. And then Friday, unless anything happens, but as far as I know right now, should be good. Yes, the Bad Game Hall of Fame will come back and we should finish up Dead Rising Chop to Your Drop. And there you go, that's the week. Yippee!
Very good, and thank you for running it down.
Cool.
Thank you for playing this game. Thank you for taking charge on this, and seeing it, helping see it through to completion.
Yeah.
I know we got one more left. How you liking it so far? But I do want to say something. I know this is not my playthrough necessarily, but it is yours. I've only guested on 2 of the 4 episodes. We'll see if I can join you for the ultimate, the final episode of this one. But I do want to especially thank folk who stick around with these, who through an odd time slot for us, we're trying to open it up more to the European contingent, time zone wise, and tackling some games that we might not have the patience for on the Tuesday or Thursday time slots or whatnot. But games like this, I feel like, invite a lot of really interesting discussion. I feel like Johnny is the bag for the job when it comes to this stuff because of your dedication to these games that might otherwise get passed over in the conversation because of your willingness to dedicate yourself to comparing and contrasting source material to these oddball conversions and whatnot. So I very much have found this playthrough to be fascinating, getting to the point of the game where it's trying to wring those emotional moments out, trying to squeeze that towel as much as they can, get every little last ounce out of it to whatever avail, to whatever effect it might, and just being curious as hell what the end of this road looks like, what the hell the post game is for this. So I do hope folk will stay tuned, tune in, consider seeing this the end of this game and what lies ahead. And do you have any idea what your next playthrough might be for the Bag Game Hall of Fame? After this is all said and done?
Not full playthrough, but probably the next episode of the Johnny Baghead's Not So Pro Skater, because we do have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4
yeah,
cover.
we should probably get back to that.
Yeah, we'll bring that back, and then we'll see what's on the horizon. Yeah, unfortunately, just gotten sick a lot at the end of this year, so stuff got delayed and things like that. Hopefully,
No, it happens.
Yeah.
Sick happens.
But yeah, hopefully, that'll be the plan, and then we'll figure out from there. Yeah. That being said, the goodbye from me, and a goodbye from them.
I guess I don't get to say goodbye.
Sorry, that's a reference from any actual British people in chat.
You'll have to fill me in afterwards. I'll just say that I've been consumer Cassidy because shopping season, malls, all that.
Oh yeah, and I've been shopping canvas shopping bag, Johnny Baghead.
There we go.
Good night, everybody.
Toodles.